Guys, I got the brand new GhostCat F4X right here. Let's check it out. Now, first and foremost, the one thing I want to point out is how beautiful this bike is. Now, they have them in multiple colors. I got the all black one, and you cannot go wrong with all black. One thing you got to keep in mind though is that battery right there. This skin that's on here, this is a sticker. This is separate on their website, so you'd have to go out and buy that yourself. It's like a $50 add-on, doesn't come with it. There's some changes they need to do to the sticker because this battery is actually bigger than the F3X, but we'll get into that later. Another thing we gotta talk about are these Maxxis Max Venture MT tires. Now, the Scout tires were perfectly fine on the other bike, and some of you guys actually might get the Scout tires on this bike. Make sure when you go to checkout and use my discount code, plug in the fact that you want these tires. You might have to wait a little bit longer to get these ones, but I definitely think it's worth it. These things are badass. So here is a quick comparison of both of the bikes. This is the older one, the F3X, still a great bike. It's 52 volt. This is the new F4X with 60 volts. And you're gonna notice a few changes. Now, this is not a complete side-by-side. We're not gonna compare them too much, but I wanna let you guys know that literally these bikes are completely the same. I remember them telling me the frame was bigger, but I actually measured it and it was exactly the same. They're both 44 from this axle nut to the front axle nut, so I'm not sure what they changed on it. You can obviously tell the battery is massive compared to that one. They did get rid of the gears though. So there was a 7-speed Shimano on here. Now there's a single gear. And something else I measured on this bike what I thought was kind of funny. This is now 7 inches for the front chainring. This one is 8 inches. But let's be real, you're not gonna be pedaling this bike anyway, and that's an okay change with me. But overall, these bikes are the same. I just wanted to show you guys a comparison of the tires and what they look like side by side. You guys might have noticed that the seats on these bikes are completely different, and it's actually an upgraded seat on my F3X. It's from Tapia. It unfortunately, after contacting the company, does not fit on the new model. So you can't transfer your old bike seat if you had the original one to the F4X. So that's unfortunate. And they said it's due to that huge controller underneath the seat, which got me thinking, let's see how this controller looks. It looks like we're gonna have to cut the zip ties to flip this controller upside down because I don't see no specs from the top. Oh, that one could just be pushed off to the side. And that is our 60 volt controller that says 55 amps of current power on there. I'm now starting to see why they couldn't fit the new seat on there, because the controller box used to be on the outside underneath, not inside the seat. And you can see on the F4X how the controller box is underneath the seat instead of being on the outside of the bike. Without that seat, we can get a nice look at our KKE compression adjustment on the top of that shock. All the way at the bottom, you do have a rebound adjustment, and this suspension in the back is what really makes this bike super plush. Now here's what's special about this bike. Looking at this motor, you would think it's 750 watts, maybe 1,000 watts, but no, this thing has a nominal power of 2,200 watts, and it peaks at 3,300 watts. And that makes sense because we have a 55 amp hour controller, 60 volt system, multiply that, 3,300 watts of power is insane out of this bike. Next thing I wanna do, let's take off this battery and just use the key, put it into the unlock position and slide it up and slide it out. Keep in mind when you are sliding it out, there isn't much room here. You can still get it out, it's not that difficult, but try not to smash your hands. This battery is pretty heavy, don't drop it. It's 14.5 pounds. And now that the battery's out, you can see how the mechanism works. Basically just slides right into that hole right there. And also make sure you tighten these screws right here because mine came loose in shipment. But coming back to the battery, you can see we have 1,500 watt hours and 25 amp hours out of this battery with the 60 volt, which is gonna give us some decent range. They say this will give you 50 miles of range if you pedal this bike, and around 30 to 40 miles of range if you just use a throttle only. Now, one thing I want to show you real quick, not a big deal, make sure the battery is locked, but this battery does have a lot of movement on that rail system, so it's not the most secure. So so if you really wanted to, you can Velcro it down to the frame to have less movement. It's not gonna fly off, just something I wanna mention. So now let's get into some technical stuff on this bike really quick. So first off, this bike is 87 pounds, and for the power this thing has, it's gonna fly down the street, I'll tell you that. It supports someone that's 330 pounds. I'm 165 pounds, and I will say overall, the bike does feel a little bit shorter than your traditional e-bike, like if you gotta ride one up, an aerial rider or a Super 73. It feels like the smaller Super 73s, but still I fit perfectly fine. Pedaling wise, might not feel that comfortable, especially if you're over 6 foot. This is one thing I really wanted to show you guys is how well that suspension travels. It is crazy. Some of the most plushest suspension e-bikes, and this just takes the cake on how nice it's gonna be when rolling down the street and going off-road. It is gonna be absolutely fantastic. All right, so that should be most of the important stuff that I wanted you guys to know, but there's still a few minor details I gotta go over really quick before we go on the ride and get our GoPro and go see how badass this bike is. I also still have to charge it as well. But without further ado, let me hit some more specs and then we'll go out for the ride. We got our charger, it's 4 amps. It will take about 6 hours to charge this battery from empty to full. The seat height on this bike is a little bit over 33 inches, but right there, you got some rear foot pegs. It comes with this Rock Bros bag, so you can put your phone in there, keys, accessories. Underneath that display, you do have an old school USB charging port. I do wish that was Type-C. The front forks are KKE, they're BF34s. They are an inverted design and have 120 millimeters of travel. You also have an adjustment on the bottom of that fork right there. Nice through axle design, front dirt bike looking fender. You get a faceplate with a nice LED headlight, 4 piston hydraulic brakes with 203 millimeter rotors, and it has the exact same setup in the rear. Rear brake light, full twist throttle, no horn button on this bike. Nice color display that shows your voltage, your speed, your trip, your odometer, and pedal assist mode. Oh, and your wattage. Last but not least, let's hold our headlight button. We have a dedicated button for that. Looks pretty wide, looks very bright in the middle. Here's a look at our brake light, and when I hit the brakes, it gets brighter. So there you go on the lights. We'll do a separate video on this as well, so I'm not gonna show you too much of the lights. Without further ado, let's get out there and ride this bad boy. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the GoPro and we're looking at the bike out in the beautiful sun. I will say it's super hot, so we're not gonna sit here for very long. The first thing we're gonna do is a speed test. And why are we gonna do a speed test first? Well, we have a full battery. It actually started at 67 volts, and right now I'm at 66.3 to make it to this little location. So let's get on the way and see how fast this bad boy goes. You guys also might be wondering why this bike has 30.8 miles on it, and I haven't been riding it. This is actually my first time riding this thing, but when they shipped me the bike, it came with miles on it, and I think it was for testing purposes, so I think this is a slightly used bike. But anyways, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woo. Gotta lean forward on this bike or it will pop a wheelie. It definitely just loves to lift up, I'll tell you that. Dang, this thing is moving. This is nice. Let me close the visor. We're about to hit 40 miles an hour. That felt effortlessly, man. That was quick. 41. Then we gotta go any faster. I saw 42. There we go. 42 miles an hour. They say this bike does 40 miles an hour. We're going over that, so that is awesome. I am really impressed with the speed of this bike, with how small that motor is in the back. That motor is working, man. That is absolutely awesome. I'm loving it so far. The only thing is, the noise might get to you if you don't like the noise that this motor is producing. It is definitely loud. It is not a quiet hub motor. It definitely screams. Yeah, it gets in high RPM when going this fast. Now here's something you don't get on this bike is turn signals. That would have been really nice because there was some traffic behind me. So turn signals could have been a nice add-on, but again, the bike is so light that I understand it. And right now, I love the fact we have the wattage right here. I totally forgot. And we're hitting 3,400 watts out of this bike, even more than what's advertised. That is awesome. But every so often, it's jumping back and forth between 3,000 and 3,400. It's obviously gonna go down, but I love the fact that I can see that while we ride. Now, you know, I thought this bike was gonna be a little bumpy because it has a knobby tread pattern on these tires, but they are absolutely nice. This bike is nice and sturdy. It's not bumpy at all, like at all. And the brakes, woo, they are sensitive, man. Wait until we do the brake test because, wow, I cannot tell you how crazy these brakes feel. you barely tap them, you will fly over the handlebars if you're not careful. And keep in mind, these are switched. So if you want to wheelie this bike, just disconnect the sensor for the brakes, because this is your rear brake and this is your front brake. So you got to get used to that. These tires on this pavement, I can definitely hear them. They're not the quietest tire, if that bugs you or not. The tires don't bug me, the motor just a little bit, just a little bit. That motor is really screaming at 40 miles an hour, it's crazy. And these tires feel like they're just hooking up like crazy. This bike, the handling characteristics of it, I mean, it's so lightweight for the power you're getting. It's such a small, compact bike. Dude, this thing is, this thing is awesome. Now I wanna show you guys, if you are not leaning far enough on this bike and you hit it, it will definitely wanna lift up. So you gotta be careful on where you put your feet or your body weight at that fact, because if you don't, it will lift up. It just wants to get up there. If you want a wheelie bike, this is gonna be a perfect bike to get up there. I actually think this would be a good learning bike for people that want to learn how to wheelie. You don't have to have it in 5. I got an Impellis 5 right now. Put it in like 3 or something like that. It should give you well enough good power to lift the front up. You might not even need pedal assist 3, to be honest. This thing has a lot of power. And the grips, I'm loving them. The grips feel great. The handlebar levers feel great as well. I'm loving it. They really fit my hand. They're not too far out from the bars. I like it. I will say though, the grips, you gotta work on this, GhostCat, because my grip is spinning, so it needs to be glued a little bit better. It's something we can do, but it's a safety thing. I definitely think they should check and make sure these are on there tight so someone doesn't slip off of them. The cable management as well, I didn't talk about this, but all down here, all the cables are routed really nicely. You don't even see the cables really at all. I really like it. And these brakes up here say that they're XODs. I think I've had these on some previous bikes and they're working great, really great. So good, man, so good, that's crazy. Now, how was the throttle response on this bike? I've just been messing around with it, having a blast, haven't even really been paying attention. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so maybe half a second delay. Watch this, 1, 2, 3. You guys hear that delay? You can hear the motor kick on, so it's about half a second delay. So it's not instant power on the throttle. It's okay, it's not a big deal. It's a safety thing as well, but it would have been nice if it was instant. How are the pedals though? Let's see. Oh, okay. The pedals feel exactly how the throttle feels. It's about a half a second delay before they activate. I'll do that one more time, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and that's nice. There's no torque sensor here, it's just a cadence sensor. So all you have to do is move your feet. Look, I'm barely moving them and the bike is giving me all power. Now, if you do go super slow like this, I'm barely moving, it'll barely give you any power, but you do have to pedal a little fast to get all that power possible. Whoa, that suspension's coming in clutch right now. I just hit one of the biggest dips I always hit on my reviews and it took it like a champ. That felt like a dream. That really felt like I was sitting on a cloud couch, and these freaking tires, man. Oh my God, they're just tripping me out on how responsive it is. It's crazy. I want to let you guys know as well, this is a 103-degree day. It's super hot out here. I wouldn't be surprised if the bike cuts my power, but we're just going to have to see if that happens or not, because it is a small motor for the power we're getting. But anyways, let's take it a little bit easier off-road. I really want to see how fast I can go out here until it doesn't feel comfortable, but I really feel like this bike is going to handle this really good. Let's get this bike dirty, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I can't go super fast because there's a lot of sand out here. But, I mean, I'm doing 30 miles an hour. Whoa, oh, whoa. Whoa, all right, let's get somewhere where it's a little harder. I'm about to fly off this bike, but I mean, it's going over it. That's the crazy part. It's moving over this stuff. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that when this suspension is kind of going up and down, I feel like it's not cutting my power, but it's not continuously giving me the power. It feels like it's kind of regulating the power. Like I am full out and I feel like it should have already hit 40 by now, but it's still going up. It just feels like it's taking longer to go. But I mean, look how fast I'm going off-road. I mean, this is a solid ass bike. Look, let's climb up this. Look at that. Look at that. Look what I'm going over, guys. This is nuts. This is just, oh my God, yes. This is the perfect bike for out here. I love it, I love it. The next thing I wanna do is the braking test, and we're doing about 27 miles an hour. Let's go up a little bit more, 28, there we go. All right, well, definitely slid a lot farther than I thought, and we were doing about 27. I was in the throttle a little bit towards the end to get it up because we were dipping down to 26. Ooh, man, I gotta tighten this. I didn't even know these were loose. Make sure if you get your bike, make sure you tighten these because these are all starting to come off already. This one was loose, this one's loose. These ones are good, but these two on this side were loose. So I'm gonna do that braking test one more time. I'm just gonna keep it in pedal assist 3, and that'll keep us around 26 miles an hour, and we're gonna see how it stops. Here we go, guys, 27, 28, here we go. Okay, I went a little farther this time, and yeah, this thing, I feel like because the tires aren't completely flat, if you notice, we're riding on this middle tread right here, and it's barely right on the edge of these, so it's not a completely flat tire. I bet you anything, the CTS tires would stop a little tiny bit better because they don't have these big cuts in them and grooves. So if you want better stopping power, you actually might like the CTS tires compared to these. The whole braking system is basically the same. It's just a contact patch that you're gonna get on the asphalt. So just keep that in mind when braking, but I mean, you're not really gonna do that too often on braking. This is just a test to see how quick you can do it in an emergency. The next thing we got to do is the hill test, and I want to see how much of a beast this thing is going to climb. I mean, I think it's going to do pretty good. We're at 62.5 volts. We're still on a good battery charge. It shows on the battery bar right here that it looks like we're at like 80% or so. But without further ado, let's go up this hill. Full throttle, 1, 2, 3. All right. It's going, it's going. I thought I was gonna go a little faster this. I am in pedal assist 5, 15 miles an hour. Again, it is a hot day, so I don't know if this motor is just getting hot and not wanting to, you know, climb too high. We'll do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Come on, bike, you can do it. 12, 13, 14, roughly. Yeah, so not our fastest bike coming up here. That still goes to the other bike we just reviewed. But on flat road, this thing definitely hauls ass. I will say I do think the bike is cutting our power due to how hot it is. I'm in Central California. I explain this a lot in my videos because LA, I'm pretty sure, is still hot as well. But I'm nowhere near a beach whatsoever. And it's really humid. I think today was 20% humidity here. And I gotta tell you, the reason why I think it's cutting power is because if I throttle it right now and I get a straightaway, I'm looking at about 1900, 2000, 2200, 2600, 2000, 1700. The power keeps going back and forth. It's not being consistent with the power. And I feel like down low, the bike was struggling to give me power. It was only giving me 1300 watts of power when we were climbing that hill. That's what it was showing from a get-go. So that means it wasn't giving me all that power up the hill. So we would have to do that when the motor is completely cold. Let's see how it goes over this bridge. Perfect. Handlebars are not wide whatsoever. They're really, really short. Like, I mean, my elbow to here almost goes across the whole handle. They're small. Just keep in mind, the handlebars are small. I'm gonna get on a long straightaway and I wanna see what our top speed is now. 22, 24. It was only giving me 1500 watts of power. Now 1800 watts, now 1600 watts, now 23. It's all over the place. I love seeing the wattage, but now it's kind of worrying me that I really am not getting all the power out of this bike. It really overheated quick. This motor is small, but I mean, keep in mind, look, I'm still picking up speed, 36 miles an hour, and it would have probably continued to go up there, but it was definitely a lot slower than it was originally when we first took it out, right around the corner from my house. One thing that is nice on this bike, you actually don't need your phone up here because the speed is completely accurate on both of these. This is actually probably more accurate. It might be off by maybe 1 mile per hour when it gets up to the top speed, but that's totally fine. I probably wouldn't even put a phone mount up here. I would just leave my phone right in the bag It might cook, it might overheat. You might not be able to text anyone when you pull it out of here because this is already burning my hand, but it's just nice that you don't have to clutter up your handlebars and you can just throw extra stuff in there. If you got keys to the gym or your house or whatever you want to carry. The bags are always nice to be included. Let's hit this little roundabout. Woo! Yes, nice and comfortable. Now, one thing that feels weird though that you probably would never do is standing up on this bike. The handlebars are so short that I can't extend my whole body up. I feel like a hunchback trying to stand on this bike. Definitely a tiny bike for me. I still feel like at 5'9", but it's just so nimble and lightweight that I'm overlooking it, but I'm not forgetting it. Come up this again. Oh, it's so nice. It is so nice. God, it's so lovely. I love it. Let's see what else we can see on this display. So right now I can see my trip, and this hasn't been reset, by the way. Oh, I can go to odometer. I should have reset the trip, to be honest. I wanted to see if it was accurate. So far, we've done 9.2 miles on this trip. After that, it shows our max mile per hour is 99.9. So this must have been a test unit or something, because there's no way free spinning this thing would have went up that high. Our average mile per hour is 13.2, and that's probably because it's been ridden by multiple people, it's been sitting. It also calculates if you're just barely rolling, sitting at a light, whatever. And let's see, the time we've been out here, 26 minutes in this 103-degree weather. It's absolutely baking me. I should have put some sunscreen on. We are cooking out here, and I believe the motor is cooking as well. But look, it hasn't limited us to like 30 miles an hour like some other bikes have. Not trying to throw shade, but I mean, I can feel the power regulating. I can feel it pull me and then push me back, and then pull me and pull me back. But we're still hitting almost 40 miles an hour. Let's go, baby. That is impressive. There's 40 right there. So far, how many mile per hour have we lost? 2? Oh, 41, there's 41. Now, if you don't want this issue that I'm having on this bike or other bikes I reviewed in the past, because a lot of companies are trying to get into giving us smaller motors that are beefed up, that can handle a lot of power, that look like 750 watt motors for regulations, so people can ride them. Cops aren't gonna bat an eye at this bike looking at the motor. They're gonna think it's a traditional e-bike. If you have a big 5,000 watt hub motor in the back, they're gonna see that and be like, oh man, okay, that is definitely not right. This thing probably does 50 miles an hour. They would never think this thing, woo, does 42 miles an hour. And with that small motor and that much power means that you really are gonna have heat issues. It's just gonna happen. So you need heat sinks on these bikes. That's what you need if you don't want to have to deal with this on any of these new e-bikes coming out. Let's go off-road, let the bike cool down a little bit while we ride through here. Oh yeah. This looks bumpy, maybe not on camera, it just divots everywhere. And this thing feels like it's not even there. It feels like I'm on the road still. That is nuts, man. Oh my God, that is just... That rock felt like nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm going through driveways and everything. I'm just riding wherever the hell I want, and it's destroying everything I go over. That is impressive. That is awesome. Look at this. All the other bikes I took out here, I had to be a little cautious on the power. I haven't let off the throttle. Now, it's not obviously going as fast as I want. I want it to go faster. It's just overheating, but I mean, I don't feel anything out here. I really don't. And it's crazy because the suspension feels so soft that you might even feel the back tires flat, but it's not. It's just because it dips down so much that it feels like your tires going flat. It really does. Knocked it out of the park, man. GhostCat is amazing. GhostCat e-bikes are amazing. Right now we are at 11.2 miles and I am at 59.4 volts, 59.3 volts. It pretty much changes every 30 seconds, so just 59 volts roughly for about 11.5 miles. Now I want to go off-road right here because we did this on another bike and it was pretty rough in some sections, so I'm gonna see if we hit those same sections, if it feels really bad or it feels good. Like, look at this dip. It ate that up! It ate that up! What the heck? Where's some more dips? I'm looking for dips. I'm looking for holes in the ground. Here's one, here's one. Oh yeah, ate that up. Ate that up. Oh, another one, ate it up. Another one, ate it up. I don't think I have a single complaint with the suspension on this thing. I had to pull over here. I wanted to check my bolts and see if they were
coming loose at all. I should have checked these two down here. Oh, there's also some down here as well, but they all look good except those two right there, but they're holding on since I tightened them. Here's an update I want to let you guys know though. I am still in pedal assist 5, and watch the speed of this bike now. Look how slow it's going. It is 100% limiting our power. We're only getting 800 to 700 watts. I saw it hit 1,000 right there and 1,100. Yeah, it is definitely cooking. Let me see if I can touch that motor or not. Holy crap, ow! Ow, oh my God, no way. It's like when you take a pizza out of the oven, God, or a Hot Pocket, when you bite into it and you don't open it up first, all that heat, oh my God. Woo. Oh man, look at this. Come on, bike, move. Yeah, so I think that's just gonna be a new issue for a lot of bikes. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that say like, you're not riding the bike properly, this didn't happen to my bike, but you don't live where I live, you don't ride how I ride. I don't have a lot of stop signs. Like, look at this, I have a 5-mile road right here that I can just keep going down without braking at all. And it's 103, it's cooking out here, the motor's gonna cook, everything's gonna cook. Let's see if the battery's hot. Okay, the battery's warm, but the battery's not burning up like that. Yeah, the battery's okay, definitely okay on that. The battery definitely makes some noise. Big hefty battery right there. 25 amp hours is good. Give you guys a range update. We didn't go too much farther, but 12.3 miles and we have 58.9 volts. I'll bring up my chart and see where that's at. All right, so maximum voltage 67.2. When we did our speed test, we were at 66.5-ish. And we can go all the way down to 48 volts. Right now, we're sitting at 58.9. which puts us around 57% roughly, 57, 58%. And I went 12.5 miles and our max speed was 42.3 miles an hour. So that means that me personally, the way I was riding, I'll get roughly about 24 miles out of this bike comfortably. After that, I better make sure I'm right in front of my house because it's gonna die any second. I really wanna ride this bike at night, check out the lights, and also see if we have this overheating issue. I don't think we will because at night it's normally about 70 degrees, so I guess we'll just have to wait until the next video and see if we have the same issue. You can literally hear the power and you can see it on the display. You can see it cutting in and out. Now it's not, we're good now. But yeah, I mean, I'll leave you on that. I love the bike, just overheating. But a lot of things are overheating now. There's fires that start in the middle of the damn freaking field for no reason, just because it's so hot. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. It's too hot to go in the garage and stand behind the camera and give my final thoughts. You guys already know how I feel about the bike. I would buy it if I was you. It's just one minor inconvenience, but I love it. I absolutely love it. If you want a really solid, comfortable bike for $3,000, make sure to use the links down in the description as well, because that definitely helps, and it, you know, helps you save money as well too. It doesn't just help me. Helps all of us at the end of the day. That's what I work forward to, is getting the discount codes for you guys. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be a limited use before it's gone. So anyways, see you guys. And just so you guys know, we're not gonna charge this bike in the second video. So we're gonna see how far we can go down on the battery. And also we're gonna do another video comparing it more to the F4X. So subscribe if you guys wanna see more content on this, because that's what I live for, to do this content. And again, for the second time, I'll see you.